So my blogs are nearing up to that 2-year mark, and thankfully I'm in a position where I can reinvest a lot of the money that they're earning back into content and writers for my blogs. That being said, hiring writers is definitely not easy, and even using proven sources like Content Pit or Content Warrior, for example, can sometimes make you leaving wanting a little bit more from the content there. Now, having interviewed and tested out a couple of writers this month, actually, I wanted to share with you my top 3 red flags you should keep an eye out for when hiring writers. So let's jump into it. Point 1, they don't have the strongest grasp of English, which is incredibly rich coming from this guy who literally speaks sometimes at the speed of sound. Don't know what that's all about. Now, I'm not saying you should only hire native English speakers. Heck, half the time native English speakers charge around 10 to 15 times more than normal writers there, so definitely isn't cost prohibitive. But if the writer you're speaking to, be it on Fiverr, Upwork, Facebook, all those different kinds of things, if they're reaching out to you and they're communicating with you and it doesn't really make a lot of sense, it's kind of hard to understand, then that doesn't really bode well for the work that they're going to be producing there. Some writers can even be a little bit pushy and want you to do and commit work with them there and then, and if that's the case and the English isn't being communicated effectively, then again, that's another red flag you might want to be watching out for there as well. Quick tangent on why this is quite important. A couple of years ago, I was doing Amazon FBA and I wanted to gift an ebook along with the product that I was selling as like a freebie. I just hired a basic writer off of Fiverr, didn't do any due diligence, just chose the cheapest one basically. I got an ebook back from them and I literally had to rewrite 100%. So it's really important that you do your due diligence when it comes to writers for this stuff. Red flag number 2, they don't send you copies of their work. Yeah, this is probably going to be the biggest red flag I'm going to cover. If your writer then doesn't send you a single sample of their work, or maybe they send you 1 or 2 that are on the exact same keyword, bit of a red flag if you ask me. I've even had a couple of writers in the past that are a little bit defensive when it comes to sending over their work. Why? Well, in reality, a lot of these writers that you're looking at, they're actually the middlemen and hiring out the content to other third parties, sometimes even including AI writing services there as well. For the time being, AI written content can be detected fairly easily. However, going forward in the future, it's going to be a little bit harder and harder to prove. So make sure you get as many samples as possible and feel confident in going with that writer before proceeding ahead with them. Red flag 3 is just that they don't learn from their mistakes. So as bloggers, niche website holders, whatever it is exactly that you want to call us, we often give leeway to new writers if this is, of course, the first time that we've hired them. As such, in the first instance, it's going to be completely normal to update and rewrite part of the content that they give back to you, just because you're going to know your niche, your industry a lot better than they will. Over time, then you'll give your writer a lot of feedback, and eventually you'll still have to update the content, but do it a lot less frequently than when you first hired that writer. For some arbitrary numbers at the end, let's say at the beginning, you're probably going to be updating around about 50% of your writer's content, and then maybe on the 2nd, 3rd, 4th post that they provide, once you've given that feedback, you might only be updating 10 to 20% there, just to add your own voice, your own tone, all those kinds of things there. That being said, if it's been a couple of months and your writer is making the same mistakes, you're still having to update 50, 60, 70, even 100% of the content that they've written, then that's a massive red flag that they don't really care about building a long-term relationship. All they're really interested in doing is churning and burning, getting as much content out there for as many different people in as least time for them. So yeah, another red flag there, unfortunately. Blogging family, leave a comment down below. Let me know what your red flags are. Your red flags? Let me know what your red flags are when it comes to hiring writers. As always, if you're interested, however, in more videos around blogging, side hustles, personal development, business, any of those kinds of things, absolutely smash the like and subscribe button, as it really, really does help out the channel. And until the next one, I'll leave you to it. All the best, gang. Have a good one. Bye.